the Friday, January 22nd, 2021 episode of the Alt Center Conspiracy Clearinghouse. Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump have 6.5 bathrooms in their mansion, yet they would not let the Secret Service use the bathroom. Why? Even for such boorish, ultra-rich, spoiled people, this seems absurd. According to the alien lizard being conspiracists, there can only be one reason. The Secret Service cannot use the toilets in the Kushner-Trump mansion because the toilets have been especially outfitted for use by alien lizard beings. And the Kushner-Trumps cannot afford to let the Secret Service begin to suspect the truth. To be an alien lizard being or not to be an alien lizard being. In his last days in office, many Proud Boys, Bugaloos, and other right-wing militants and terrorists became disaffected with the man who'd been their hero, President 45. Largely as a result of the mob riot, come insurrection organized by this president, which he watched from the luxurious safety of the White House while protected by the Secret Service, before saying that his followers deserved prison after following his instructions. Many of his former supporters have taken to calling the former president a coward, a pussy, a sellout, and a traitor. Some who showed up in Columbus, Ohio over the weekend of January 17th said that they don't like Biden or Trump, which brings up the question, who or what they were there for in the first place. In our last episode, we mentioned how the Secretary of State of Georgia is now reviled by many on the far left and extreme right. It seems that President 45 may have achieved, or be heading for, the same status. Even before the inauguration, the pro-45 election conspiracy groups had further fragmented. Some Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, and Bugaloos were terribly disgusted with the QAnon folks, and not because some now believe that George Soros is actually Q. These other Trumpistas are, or were, still are, upset because moving towards Inauguration Day, the QAnon folks were said to be holding that on January 20th, their heroic President 45 was going to initiate a nationwide power outage or cell phone outage, declare martial law, and summarily arrest and probably execute all of the evil democratic, satanic, cannibalistic pedophiles as he moved to lifetime emperorship of a heavenly USA. The Proud Boys and Bugaloos said that such views were bullcrap, or stronger words, and that the QAnon folks needed to be more practical, more realistic, like them. Similarly, the alien lizard being conspiracists have now moved into two camps. Until recently, they were united in agreeing that President 45 was fully human, just misguided. Now some of the alien lizard conspiracists have concluded that, contrary to Bill Maher, who insisted that President 45 was the product of a human female and an orangutan father, that 45 truly does have alien lizard being DNA. Some of the arguments for this point of view are, why else would 45 make sure so many people suffered and died? Why would a human being try to cut medical care and Social Security for millions and after many promises never come through with a better medical plan of his own? Why would a non-alien lizard being let the COVID virus run wild in America, killing and debilitating hundreds of thousands of Americans and killing off many jobs and small businesses? Why would anyone but someone with alien lizard DNA work against all the non-corporate funded scientific evidence and promote every possible way to bring about global heating and climate change? And why would any reasonable human being do his best to make sure weapons capable of massacre were available to everyone, even felons, terrorists, and the mentally and emotionally disabled? The murderous aspects of President 45 are further proved to these alien lizard being conspiracists by his rush to execute all the federal prisoners he could before he left office. More on the discord between the Bugaloos, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, QAnon, and the factions in the alien lizard being conspiracy folks to come, most certainly. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Gush Lane offers Wifty Difty.
Remember, do not consume Wifty Difty. If you have any allergies, have ever had a cold or the flu, or have ever experienced diarrhea, do not even think about giving Wifty Difty to children below the age of 12. Should the use of Wifty Difty result in a heart attack, convulsions, a loss of consciousness, an inability to speak, or death, immediately consult your physician.
Everyone has heard of the person who stole Nancy Pelosi's laptop computer from her office during the mob insurrection directed by President 45 on January 6th, and that this person wanted to sell this device to the Russians. This is not the worst of it. New reports have come in that embedded in the 15,000 Trumpistas who marched on and the many hundreds who broke into the Capitol on that fateful day were 6 disguised Russian agents. These agents were among the first inside and spent their time there in teams of 2, one keeping watch and one doing the dirty work, bugging the offices and computers of almost every senator and most of the members of Congress. Allegedly, behind the scenes, the FBI, NSA, and other federal organizations are only now catching up with the full scale of the horrendously damaging effects of this espionage. Others claim that it wasn't Russian agents who did this. Instead, it was misguided Bugaloos, Oath Keepers, or Proud Boys who thought, quote, they were bugging them for Trump. A BLM spokesperson said, of course, along with everything else, when things go sideways for these guys, they will blame us, or the mythical Antifa. More on this alleged Russian Proud Boy Oath Keeper Bugaloo attack on the USA to come. That's it for this week's episode of the Alt Center Conspiracy Clearinghouse. 5 weekly minutes of sanity in a 24/7 insane world.